and we're like, what, a couple hours away from the market opening. So actually, before I expand this, let me go ahead and get over to AU. So before I guess we get started, I just want to kind of, if you're new to the channel, reiterate what I do here, and then what the goal is, and who I'm looking to help. So what I am doing is simply just going over the weekly to see what my bias is for the week. You definitely do not have to take my opinion on what you feel like, and I recommend it. Like, right, use this as kind of a guide or a suggestion. Do your own analysis on what you think that the week is going to be looking like. Set up your own parameters for what you think that the market is going to do this week, and then move forward from there. You don't have to take my advice. You don't have to go with what are the things that I'm talking about, or the direction that I'm going, whether it be bullish or bearish on whatever pair. You choose what is best for you. This is simply just to help you get an idea of where my mind is at, what I think the market is going to do. My page is mostly best for those that are swing, day traders, intraday traders. I don't do much scalping on my channel, so if you are a scalper, it may not be as helpful for you, although I do feel like the concept is pretty much the same, just at a different time frame of you holding your position. So that is the goal. The goal is simply to be of service, simply to help you become better traders and learn to become a better trader myself. Vulnerable moment. So without further ado, let me just go ahead. We're just going to go ahead and move forward. We're going to start with AU on the weekly. And the reason why I'm starting, I think what I've said previously, is the reason why I start on the weekly is because essentially we're starting with a new week, right? This is the end of the month, so I'm expecting to see some news drop in. I haven't even checked yet to see just yet, but I would assume, because the beginning and the ending of every month usually is some pretty high impact news that will essentially affect the market. So keep that in mind when you're going ahead and you're placing your trades for the week. So for me personally, I like to trade the retests. I do like to trade supply and demand a lot. It's supply and demand is easier for the beginning parts of the market, is what I'm learning. Like, so if the market hasn't made that move, or it's nowhere near where it's made that move in the past, that's more supply and demand. And then previous price action, in looking at previous price action, is more like supply, not supply and demand, but support and resistance. So you can think of support and resistance as it once was maybe supply and demand. So supply and demand is more fresh when the market is fresh and it's making those current moves. Support and not supply and demand, but support and resistance is more of what has happened in the past, if that is easy to remember. I know that is a little confusing, but anyway, so let's go ahead and move forward in the best way that we can. Okay, so on AU for this week, it looks like I'm still seeing what appears to be bearish, and the reason why is because, this is on what, the weekly. Let me exit. And let's actually scoot down to the daily real quick. Okay, so the reason why I'm saying bearish on AU is because we had a break of structure after it kind of broke through a couple of these places where it had kind of held at, where it wasn't trying to break through. So once we had that break of structure, price came back up to retest, and we haven't seen price sustain above here. And be able to get price to get back up to this place, and we've been kind of just holding below what it looks to be, if we just kind of scoot over here, like almost like at a bank level. So it's almost pretty much at this at 67,000. So that's what I'm looking at when I'm looking at the market, to kind of see where it's holding at, where's their liquidity at, where is it not moving past, is that being held as support, is that being held as resistance. So right now I'm seeing this technically as resistance, this bar that I have already kind of preset right here. So even if it only makes it to this area, you can still collect some pips. Keep in mind, this is on the daily, so it may take a little bit of time to actually get down here, but you can still see some pips collected here. And if we do see price move past this particular area right here, I should probably put a box, but it'll be too much to get out. Here, we can maybe use this one. Let's do that. Perfect. Come on, come on, come on, come on. So we'll just use that as an example. Once price is able to get past here, and I can actually, let me drag it over so it makes sense, you know. So once price is able to get below this space and hold, like I get a break and a hold and maybe even a retest, I am going to short the market probably until about there. And I'm just looking at previous price action to see exactly where I would be shorting until when I would get out. So this would probably be right here, take profit 1 in this section. Take profit 2 would then be here, and then you'd be looking at take profit 3 around here. So as of right now, I'm still bearish. We may see some consolidation in between these two areas for the next couple days or so. We'll just have to see, of course, probability game. So we'll just have to see exactly what's going to happen. However, I do feel like it is strongly bullish, and we'll also have to see with the news. It's a big old doji here. With the news, will it push price a little bit further down, or will we see it, you know, go closer to the bearish side? We're just going to have to see exactly with time how that's going to look. So let's go over to EU. I'm trying not to spend too much crazy amount of time on each of them. Let's get out so we have a little more to look at. Okay, let me remove, actually I'm going to just put this over here just in case I need it so I don't have to go back out again to get it. And I may need it, actually, now that I'm putting it over there. I need it. Let me put it back. Kind of like right up in here, because I'm looking, again, easier if I think I drag it over so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm looking at and what I was looking at previously. So even though that we have that there, price is rejecting quite a bit here. This is just on the weekly though, so we got to keep that in mind too. So I'll go ahead and we'll scroll down and look a little bit further in. But we could potentially see some consolidation here, and then waiting to kind of see what price is going to be doing, but it is rejecting here. So I would say that this has become resistance sitting up here, and now we're just waiting to see what price is going to do. Let me get out of this. We're going to jump over to the daily. All right, so on the daily, once the market opens back, and if I'm seeing kind of right where price is at right now, and I know that's just a line, it's not a zone, and maybe it'll be a bit easier for you if I just, let me just break this out real quick so that it's a little more visible, I guess. So right now, kind of where price is at right now, I'm looking to see, is price going to hold and keep continuing to come down, even though it's kind of rejecting here? Is it going to continue to keep coming down? Or are we going to kind of see what could possibly be like a little bit of, oops, sorry, drag this guy back over a little bit further so that you can get where I'm coming from. Is it going to hold here, meaning is this going to be the zone that it's going to kind of stay in, and then we're maybe going to see a bit of this before we can actually either see something like this or potentially something like this, and then we'll be waiting to see kind of the same thing here. Is price going to be able to break through here, and then we're going to be seeing it head down? So as of right now, we're kind of just waiting. I am in a position that I held over the weekend for EU. Let me jump down to the 4 hours real quick just so that you can get an idea. And the reason why I did that, because I'm working on actually taking positions on shorter time frames, not necessarily scalping, but just looking to get my profit a little bit quicker, because what was happening, or what is still kind of happening, I guess, as you know, with me holding that position over the weekend, is I'm holding them for longer than I would like. So we're working on this, trying not to hold our positions for too long. So right now I am in a bearish direction, which looks like we're doing pretty good. We've already kind of broke that previous low from prior. So right here, the previous low was broken, and now we're just kind of waiting for this retest and see if price is going to continue down, so we can continue to take the pips for that bearish direction, even if it's only for a short period of time. So that is what I'm looking at. I will pull out of this position. I would even say probably, I would say around there, but that's because of previous price action. I'm just kind of matching that up. But just to even be safe, I'll keep an eye on it. And if I see like price is kind of hesitating to actually get down to my take profit, I'll just get out. So that's what I'm looking at on EU. Let's jump over to GU and see what that's looking like. So we started out on the weekly, which is perfect. And I think what I did, or what I wanted to do, was to kind of keep this box on here just to kind of show you like the breakout method that you could use, so that you know when price is on the move. So price was kind of bouncing back and forth. Mind you, this is on the weekly. It's going to look completely different on the like daily or the 4 hour. But with price kind of bouncing back and forth in here, if you put a box around where price is kind of bouncing back and forth, it's really easy to see when price actually breaks out of the box, or even starts to create a candle in a different area. Because when I say that, I mean like looking at this candle right here, it started to kind of trade in a different area than these had been trading. Like there's wicks and wicks and wicks and wicks, and then you see price starting to trade in a different area since this last breakout red candle here, which put us into that consolidation space. So let me get out, go to the daily. So now with it being on the daily, you can kind of get an idea of what it was. It's like a super gap here, but that's okay. You can kind of get an idea of what was happening. What I will say is, like, it is important, especially kind of looking in this area, to know the candlestick patterns. I can't remember the name of this one, forgive me for that, but charge it to my head, not to my heart. But this was like a false breakout, so this is kind of like a fake out. So it's important to know your candles and what they are, so that when stuff like this happens, you already know what's getting ready to happen next. You know that was not something to take your position out on. But when it comes down to trading breakouts, it's important to wait for the breakout, and then the retest is usually your best bet in order to make sure that you don't get faked out, something like this. So let's go ahead. Let me jump to the 4 hour real quick. And actually, you know what? And I didn't even really take a look to see exactly what we'll be looking at. Like on a week, I got excited. So as of right now, because price is kind of holding right there, and I'm seeing some rejection right here, and we ended in a bullish direction last week, it's hard to say, because we could potentially see price not even get past this area, and then we could possibly see some consolidation, and we'll just have to wait to see what price is going to do. But until it breaks this previous low here, and I hope you can see that. Let me exit. Sorry. Brush. Until I can see price actually getting below here, it's still higher than the last low. Same thing with here. So as far as I'm concerned, I still see the price is heading up, because it didn't break these last previous lows when it was while it's making its pattern. So until I can see a different or a change on that, then I would say that it's still going bullish. Now, how far up bullish? We would probably have to go back a little bit. Let me go back to the daily. So like, yeah, I mean, it's headed up, but oh my gosh, I'm gonna make a mess of this. But at the shorter end, we could possibly see this be like take profit 1, and then this right here being like take profit 2, because that's as far as it kind of went in the past. So it may not be as many pips to be collected from there, but it's something, right? So let's go out, zoom out a little bit. So even if you kind of zoom out on a larger scale, this could still possibly be in the bearish direction. If I start to see price, kind of taking out this lower high sitting right here, then I'll assume that price is on the long game, on the weekly, going in a unless it takes this out. Like if it takes this lower high out, then I'll suggest that we are going in a bearish direction. But until then, I still believe that we are going very much bearish instead of bullish. So that's where I'm at with GU. Let's pop over to UJ real quick. All right, we're gonna start with the weekly on UJ. Let me get the bigger screen. I hope this is a good view for you. I like it. I think it just shows way more of the market. So yeah, way more of the chart. Anyway, okay. So where we are right now, UJ has been through the motions. I would say since I would say in May, like when it started kind of rallying up, even March of 2022 last year. So right now we're just simply kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. Keep in mind, this is on the weekly, so it's a little harder to tell. But right now, on the weekly, it looks like we are bearish. And that's fine. We're just gonna have to see if this is actually keeping its bearish direction once it gets to this area. And then kind of go from there to see if it's going to continue to keep moving down. Let's exit real quick, jump over to the daily, and zoom out one more time. Okay, so even here, I'm seeing, I am recovering from like not feeling very well, so you're going to have to forgive me. But even right here, I am still seeing bearish, but we'll have to see what price is going to want to do when we get here. I hate this, like that I can't keep it big and then keep putting showing you exactly what I'm talking about. So let me squeeze this guy up a bit. So right now, yes, I see bearish. I'll be waiting to see, and I'm just kind of matching to some extent up with what's happened here previously, waiting to see what price is going to be doing when it gets to this area. I do believe the price will hit or get at least to about here, and then we'll maybe see either a rejection, and then this could potentially be support, and then we'll be looking to rally up and see if we can hit a resistance. But as of right now, I am showing that it looks like a bearish direction for me personally. Let's jump to the 4 hour real quick, just so that I can get the bird's eye real quick. I'll squeeze this up just so that we can see it a little bit better. Try to make it a little more visible here. Okay. So yeah, I see this going on I'd be shorting. I'd be looking to short as long as we don't get above here, which was like the previous lower high. Then I'd be looking to keep shorting the market because I believe that that's exactly where it's going to go. Is it's going to continue down. However, we'll just have to keep watching when we get to this area, particularly because I'm looking at this candle sitting literally right here. It's kind of almost like a shooting star. A morning star, shooting star. So we'll just have to be waiting to see if price is going to continue to use this place as a reference of kind of support, and then kind of move from there. So I would say bullish on this one is what I'm thinking. Okay, let's go ahead, keep with the same pattern that we've been on, and go with gold in US real quick, because I know that gold has been seeing some movement, especially since the news that came out last week has been happening. So let me, I was gonna remove it, but I guess it's I could leave it either way, whatever, it's fine. I'm gonna take it though, just to remove it so we're not getting a messy chart. And remove that, and then we're gonna jump over to the weekly and see what gold is up to. Okay, so I usually do my candles black because it kind of helps with the psychology, so you're not freaking out whether it's going up or down. You're just literally watching the market for price action rather than watching for color. Because even though this candle is very much red that we're looking where price had laughed off from last week, it's still very much a bullish candle, especially with it kind of not holding at this space that would appear to be in the past a place where price was kind of holding at. So I do believe that this has become like the resistance. We'll have to wait to see if price is going to potentially do the bounce thing, that it normally can do, especially when it gets to that place, and see if we're going to get the break and then finally the retest and then the continuation up. Let me jump over to the daily and let's get a good size chart here. Okay. Yeah, kind of hard to say because price did reject there on the 20th. It rejected a little bit right there again, the 23rd, and then again on the 24th. So we'll just have to see what is going to happen. We could see some type of consolidation in this area. That one is way too big. Ignore that one. But it does look bearish. But if you're planning on buying or longing this market, I will probably get out around here. I probably wouldn't hold, because until it gives you a reason to continue, like there's going to be a continuation, a retest, and then a continuation up, then I would probably get out kind of in this area and then see if the market is going to come back down, and then you can go ahead and short it. And I would only, again, short it until here. I would only keep it in this space. So if it's not a 1-to-1, or excuse me, if it's not a at minimum a 1-to-2 or 2-to-1 ratio, I wouldn't do it personally, but that's just me. I don't like to take trades unless there's at least a chance of 2 in there. So that is actually it for the weekly forecast. I hope that this was helpful. I always would like to hear from you guys. So if you have a market that you want to look at, or if there's questions that you have, something you want me to go over, I would be more than happy to do so. You just leave that in the comments. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you like it. I hope that you share it if you have other friends that are trading, and then I hope that you subscribe. Thank you so much, and get after it.